10 minutes. That's how long they were officially together. 4 months of dating, building trust, falling in love, and then, 10 minutes after she said yes, she made a joke about raising a baby of a different race. He laughed. She didn't, because it wasn't a joke. She only wants adopted children, no biological kids, ever. And he wants his own. So here's the question. Do you walk away from someone you love because you found out 10 minutes too late? Timing is everything. Meet the right person at the wrong time, and it doesn't matter how perfect they are. Today's story is about a deal breaker discovered at the worst possible moment. After 4 months of dating, after feelings developed, after they made it official, and now, 1 day later, he's wondering if he needs to end it. Not because he doesn't love her, but because their futures don't align. And sometimes, love isn't enough. He's 28. She's 28. They've been dating for 4 months. And by all accounts, it's been good. Really good. The kind of relationship where everything just clicks. They laugh at the same things. They enjoy each other's company. The past couple of weeks especially have felt right. Like they're building something real. So they decided to make it official. No more just dating. They're in a relationship now. Committed. Exclusive. Ready to see where this goes. It should have been a happy moment. A milestone. The beginning of something serious. But 10 minutes later, everything changed. She made a joke. At least, he thought it was a joke. Something about raising a baby of a different race. He laughed, but she didn't laugh back. Because it wasn't a joke. She wants to adopt, not someday, not in addition to biological children, only adopt. She doesn't want biological children at all, never has, never will. And suddenly, 4 months of building a relationship feels like it might have been for nothing. Because he wants biological children, his own kids. That's always been part of his vision for the future. And he thought, assumed, really, that she wanted the same thing. They'd talked about kids before, briefly, in passing, but never in detail, never about adoption versus biological, never about whether that was negotiable. And now, 1 day into being official, he's realizing they might want completely different futures. So he tries to process it. He doesn't react immediately. He listens. He asks questions. He tries to understand where she's coming from. She explains her reasoning. Maybe it's about overpopulation. Maybe it's about giving a child in need a home. Maybe it's personal, something about her own body, her own choices. Whatever the reason, she's clear. Adoption only. No biological children. And he respects that. He does. It's her body, her choice, her life. He's not trying to change her mind or pressure her into something she doesn't want. But he also knows what he wants. And what he wants is biological children. To experience pregnancy with his partner. To see a combination of both of them in a child. To carry on his family line. That's not about being against adoption. It's about wanting something specific for his own life. So he's stuck. Because neither of them is wrong. They just want different things. And the timing makes it worse. If she'd told him this on the first date, or even a month in, he could have walked away before feelings got this deep. But 4 months? After they've built something? After they just made it official? Now it feels like he's pulling the rug out from under both of them. But he also knows that waiting won't make it easier. If this is a deal breaker, and for him it might be, then ending it now is kinder than stringing her along for another 6 months, a year, 2 years, only to break up over the same issue later. Here's where it gets complicated, because everyone will have an opinion about what he should do. And a lot of those opinions will contradict each other. Some people will say he's shallow, that if he really loved her, this wouldn't matter. That adoption is just as valid as biological children, and if he can't see that, he doesn't deserve her. That he's prioritizing genetics over the actual experience of raising a child. But others will say he's being realistic. That having biological children is a fundamental life goal for many people, and there's nothing wrong with that. That compatibility isn't just about loving each other, it's about wanting the same future. And if their visions of family don't align, that's a legitimate reason to end things. And here's the double standard. If she had ended things because he didn't want to adopt, most people would support her. They'd say she knows what she wants and she shouldn't settle, that it's her body, her choice, her future, and she has every right to find someone who shares her vision. But when he considers ending things because he wants biological children, suddenly he's the bad guy. Suddenly it's about him not valuing adoption enough, about him being closed-minded or inflexible. But the situation is the same. Two people want different things. Neither is wrong, but they're incompatible. And recognizing that incompatibility, whether it's her ending it or him ending it, should be equally valid. The real issue isn't who's right or wrong. It's that this conversation should have happened months ago, before feelings got this deep, before they became official, before breaking up became this painful. So now he's facing an impossible choice. Option 1. He stays. He tells himself that maybe his feelings will change, that maybe he'll come around to the idea of only adopting, that maybe love will be enough to bridge this gap. But there's a risk. If he stays and his feelings don't change, he's wasting both of their time, and the longer he waits, the harder the breakup will be, not just for him, for her too. Option 2. He breaks up with her. One day after becoming official. It'll hurt. She'll be blindsided. 4 months together, and suddenly it's over because of one conversation. She'll feel rejected. She'll wonder why he didn't bring this up sooner, and he'll feel guilty. Because he does care about her. He just can't see a future where they both get what they want. Option 3. He tries to compromise. Maybe they can have one biological child and one adopted child. Maybe they can revisit this conversation in a year and see if either of them feels differently. But compromise only works when both people are willing to bend. And on something this fundamental, whether or not to have biological children, can you really compromise? Or does someone end up resenting the decision? There's no good answer. Every option comes with pain. If he stays, he keeps her. But he loses the future he envisioned. Every time he sees a friend with a newborn, every time he thinks about his family, he'll wonder what he gave up. And that resentment, even if he tries to suppress it, will grow. Until one day, maybe years from now, it explodes. And they break up anyway. But by then, they've wasted even more time. If he breaks up with her, he loses someone he cares about, someone he could have had a great relationship with, if only this one thing aligned. And he'll wonder if he made the right choice, if he gave up too easily, if he should have tried harder to make it work. And if he tries to compromise, he risks building a life where neither of them is truly happy, where she feels pressured to consider biological children she doesn't want, or where he feels like he's giving up something fundamental to who he is. No matter what he chooses, someone ends up hurt. But here's what this story is really about. It's not about adoption versus biological children. It's about compatibility, and about having hard conversations early. Relationships aren't just about loving each other. They're about wanting the same life. You can love someone deeply and still be fundamentally incompatible, and recognizing that incompatibility, before you're in too deep, is one of the most important things you can do. The problem is, we don't always ask the hard questions early enough. We talk about surface-level things, favorite movies, where we grew up, what we do for work, but we don't talk about the deal breakers. Do you want kids? How many? Biological or adopted or both? Where do you want to live? What does marriage mean to you? What are your financial goals? Those conversations feel too serious for a first date, too intense for the early stages of dating. So we wait. And by the time we finally have them, we're already attached. And the answers hurt more. This isn't about him being selfish or her being inflexible. This is about two people who want different things. And neither of them is wrong for wanting what they want. The tragedy is that they're finding out now, after 4 months, one day after becoming official. If they'd had this conversation earlier, they could have saved themselves this pain. So let's put this to you. Is he wrong for considering a breakup over this? Or is wanting biological children a valid deal breaker? Should he have brought this up earlier? Or is it reasonable to assume biological children are the default unless stated otherwise? If she's firm on adoption only, and he's firm on wanting biological children, is there any compromise? Or is this relationship already over? And here's the big one. If you love someone but want fundamentally different futures, do you stay and hope it works out? Or do you leave before you waste more time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's wrong here?